Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the men and women of the 340th Weapons Squadron, welcome to Barksdale Air Force Base and the Weapons School Change of Command ceremony. I'm Major Daniel Nauman, your narrator for today's ceremony. First, some comments on military protocol and ceremony etiquette. During the singing of the national anthem, military members should stand at the position of attention and not render a salute. We invite our civilian guests to place their right hand over their hearts. Additionally, military members should stand at the position of attention during the decoration presentation. Finally, please take this opportunity to silence or set to vibrate all electronic devices. Thank you. The change of command ceremony is deeply rooted in military tradition, predating the Norman conquest of England. The ceremony presents a visible means of passing the reins of command from the departing commander to the new commander. As the guidon is exchanged, it represents the responsibility of the squadron being transferred. The ceremony itself is simple and direct. The departing commander faces the reviewing officer, salutes and states, "Sir, I relinquish command." He then steps aside and the new commander takes his place before the reviewing officer, salutes, and states, "Sir, I assume command." 8 words are spoken in all, but on those 8 words, there is both an ending and a beginning. Our ceremony begins with Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Keller departing the 340th Weapons Squadron, and it marks the beginning of a new and exciting challenge for Lieutenant Colonel Timothy May. To both commanders, we offer our heartfelt best wishes. We would like to take this opportunity to welcome our distinguished guests in attendance today. Vice Commander, 2nd Bomb Wing, Colonel Scott Weiermuller. Commander, 307th Bomb Wing, Colonel Stephen Kirkpatrick. Commander, 2nd Operations Group, Colonel Matthew McDaniel and his wife, Elaine McDaniel. Chief Master Sergeant Terry Joe Reppy, U.S. Air Force Weapons School Superintendent. Colonel Retired John Vitaka. We welcome Lieutenant Colonel Keller's family, his wife Angela, his daughter Julianne, and his son Nolan. We extend a warm welcome to Lieutenant Colonel May's family, his wife Brooke, his daughters Hattie and Penelope, his parents Tim and Sandy May, and his brother Major Eric Grip May. Finally, we extend welcomes to group commanders and squadron commanders, honorary commanders, directors, chiefs, spouses, friends, and members of Team Barksdale. The officiating officer for today's ceremony is Colonel Jack Arthod, Commandant, United States Air Force Weapons School, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance at the official party and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem and the invocation by Chaplain Campbell.
If so willing, I invite you to pray with me. Heavenly Father and Almighty God, thank you for Lieutenant Colonel Keller, who has led with excellence Thank you for his humble, caring, and genuine spirit, and thank you for his family who love and support him. May you bless and keep them in your love. We thank you for raising up Lieutenant Colonel May as the next commander of the 340th. Thank you for his family who will walk with him in this command. And may the following prayer be true for us and for Lieutenant Colonel May as he leads the 340th. Disturb us, Lord, when we are too well pleased with ourselves, when our dreams have come true because we have dreamed too little, when we arrive safely because we sailed too close to the shore. Disturb us, Lord, when with the abundance of things we possess, we have lost our thirst for the waters of life. Having fallen in love with life, we have ceased to dream of eternity, and in our efforts to build a new earth, we have allowed our vision of the new heaven to dim. Disturb us, Lord, to dare more boldly, to venture on wider seas, where storms will show your mastery, where losing sight of land, we shall find the stars. We ask you to push back the horizons of our hopes and to push into the future in strength, courage, hope, and love. In the holy and gracious name of Christ I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Campbell. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commandant of the United States Air Force Weapons School, Colonel Jack Arthot.
Welcome. What a fantastic day for the 340th Weapons Squadron and for our United States Air Force Weapons School. As we say farewell to one incredible leader and welcome another. Thank you also for coming out today, and I appreciate you all respecting our COVID distancing as we continue to work to keep our families and our members safe while also preserving our mission. To those who are joining us virtually, thanks for tuning in as well. To our distinguished visitors, thanks for making time. For Rex and LeMay, I know they appreciate your time. So first, Colonel Weinmiller, thanks for being here. Colonel Kirkpatrick, Colonel McDaniel, and Colonel Retired Vitaka, thanks again. I know they appreciate your support. I'd also like to welcome all squadron commanders, chiefs, family and friends, and of course, the men and women of the 340th Weapons Squadron. I'm Colonel Arthot, the Commandant of the Weapons School, and I'm joined here today by the Superintendent of the Weapons School, Chief Master Sergeant Terry Joe Rippey. The Weapons School is able to focus on our mission because we have exceptional teammates and partners. And you have to look no further than right here at Barksdale Air Force Base to the 2nd Bomb Wing and the 307th Bomb Wing, who do a tremendous job to support the 340th and our weapons school, both with iron as well as with maintenance, but also with all they do to take care of y'all as a tenant unit here on their base. So again, we couldn't produce the patches and the leaders that we do for Global Strike and for your community without your support. So thanks again for your teamwork and for your partnership. I really, truly appreciate it. Now, what we know of today as the Weapons School evolved from the simple imperative, which was to pass weapons and tactics knowledge on from one generation to the next. World War II combat veterans initiated the school back in 1949 as the Aerial Gunnery School, and every generation of airmen ever since has worked to make it better. Lieutenant Colonel Keller and May both have lived out this mission, and you can see the evidence of that on their left shoulder with the black border patch they've earned, signifying them as instructors at the weapons school. But the patch does more than signify that you're an instructor at the WIC. The patch really speaks to what we hold true and what we value at the weapons school, which is to become exceptional instructors, tactical problem solvers, and leaders for our community, and to do so while maintaining our humble, approachable, incredible attributes. So it's my honor today to be with you as the officiating official for this ceremony. Now, the 340th Weapons Squadron also has a pretty cool history that dates back to World War II, progresses through Vietnam, and even to this day. Officially known as the 340th Whips since 3 February of 2003. It was originally stood up as the 340th Bomb Squadron on 3 February 1942, when then Captain Paul Tibbets assumed command, and that's the same Paul Tibbets who would later go on to name a famous aircraft, the Enola Gay, after his mother, Enola Gay Tibbets, when he transitioned from Europe into the Pacific. But by May of 1942, Captain Tibbets had led the first B-17 raids into occupied Europe and continued to lead the 340th in their continued assault of Nazi Germany and into Europe through 1945. And that includes a raid on Hitler's largest oil refinery in Ploiești, Romania, which a post-war analysis revealed to be one of the bloodiest of all air bombing campaigns, and they characterized it at Maxwell as one of the bloodiest and the most heroic of all time. The squadron began flying the B-52 Stratofortress in 1960 and participated in the famous linebacker assaults on North Vietnam as well. Most recently, though, B-52 Patches led a no-notice deployment to CENTCOM to stop Iranian actions in the Middle East, arriving in theater within 48 hours of notification, and in doing so also flying some of the first combat missions out of Diego Garcia in the last 14 years. Today, 340th graduates fill over 50 Tier 1 and Tier 2 positions, and they're responsible for tactical training and ultimately the combat readiness of each of the units within the B-52, the buff community. And while I've heard a couple of origin stories for where we first got our humble and approachable, credible values from the weapons school, I know that the 340th claims credit, going back to Lieutenant Colonel Worm Westa, commander back in 2003. And if you walk into the squadron, you can see the plaque to prove it right up there to signify when it was first coined. But maybe my most distinctive memory of the 340th was the time that I got to jump in a B-52 and fly from Louisiana out to San Diego and back, which marks my longest ever weapons school sortie, an 8.0, which what I loved about that is it also got picked up by the National Review magazine, where they talked about how what we were training to at the weapons school, specifically what the 340th was doing, should put the Chinese on notice that if necessary at any time we could mine the Taiwan Straits, and so maybe they'd best back off a little bit. And so for a tactical fighter guy, flying an 8.0, you guys put the global in global strike for sure. And so Rex, as we say goodbye to you, you can be really proud of what you've done to this squadron. You've established a very firm foundation for the 340th, but more importantly for the patch community in the buff. When you first took command, I really gave you 3 charges that I wanted you to get after. The first was to build exceptional Tier 1 weapons officers who could teach and lead. The second was to lead the buff community. And the third was to attack some of the Air Force's toughest problems. As we transition from warfare in the Middle East to great power competition and re-orienting towards deterring China and to a lesser extent, Russia. And you've absolutely delivered on all 3 of those imperatives. Your Tier 1s are respected across the community and have built a culture of expertise that allows, as I pointed to earlier in some of the early accolades, allows for an operational unit within 48 hours to pick up, to deploy downrange, and to seamlessly integrate into the operations that are taking place, and to restore deterrence to the region. Further, the 340th has sent multiple graduates and instructors downrange to fill key leadership positions, like Shades Gray and others, who proved immensely valuable to senior leaders downrange and to operations in the Middle East. You've helped prepare the community for great power competition by revising the syllabus to better attack the tyranny of distance problems in the Pacific, and by increasing emphasis on standoff munitions in contested environments. And again, leading the community this time by producing a graduate who authored 20 Bravo's top weapons school paper, a paper that talks about, and written by Captain Lobo Drebeck, a paper that talks about how to employ the Air Force's first long-range hypersonic munition, the AGM-183. And so, Rex, I could continue to list off examples of how you've influenced Tier 1 patches, how you've led in your community, and how you've led your community to attack the Air Force's toughest problems. But maybe the best thing I can say is that you spent 5 years of your life committed to this squadron, committed to this mission. And as I joked about on patch night, and as we joked about in the DB lounge just before we walked on stage, that does not come without a cost. When I left as a weapons school instructor back in 2011, I didn't have any hobbies because my hobby was building patches, and it seems that you and I have a few things in common. So I thank you for your service. I thank you for what you've done. Best of luck as you and Angela and Julianne and Nolan, as you guys head across the street or around the loop to Global Strike Command, and then potentially on from there. But I know that Global Strike has the right leader to step up and lead a future capabilities division. And they're hungry. They're hungry for your problem solving. They're hungry for your leadership. And quite frankly, they're lucky to have you, even if you are a graduate of the University of Alabama. All right. One of the best things about the weapons school is our mantra is to train our replacements to be better than we were at the same stage. And so I have the utmost confidence that LeMay is the right guy to step up and take command from Rex. He's accompanied today by his mom and dad, Tim and Sandy. Thanks for joining us today and driving down from Louisville. His wife, Brooke, as well as his daughters, Hattie and Penelope. And you girls look beautiful this morning. He's also joined by his in-laws, Doug and Linda, as well as his brother, Grip. Grip, thanks for making it out from Vegas. It's good to see you. Long time no see. Thank you all for being here. Now, LeMay has quite an impressive resume as well. He's an Academy graduate, a weapons school graduate instructor, a director of operations here at the WIC, an Air Force fellow at the National Nuclear Security Administration, and now soon to be commander of the 340th Weapons Squadron. LeMay, your mission, just like Rex before you, is to build exceptional Tier 1s who can lead your community both in combat and in peace, and then to attack some of the Air Force's most challenging problems. Fulfilling this mission doesn't mean that we need to build individual all-stars, though we are going to build some exceptional folks at employing the B-52, but more importantly, at leading the community. Instead, we look to achieve our vision by building humble, approachable, and credible leaders who make those around them better, and most importantly, make the B-52 community more combat effective. And so, Rex, once again, I thank you for your exceptional leadership. LeMay, I look forward to working together. And as we like to say to our new patches, follow me.
Thank you, Colonel Weinstock. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Keller. Attention to orders. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan A. Keller distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 340th Weapons Squadron, United States Air Force Weapons School, 57th Wing, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. During this period, Lieutenant Colonel Keller led the most demanding B-52 training program in the United States Air Force, encompassing more than 1,000 flying hours, 200 sorties, and nearly 1,700 hours of academic instruction during his 2 years in command, which was marked by a period of immense challenge during a global pandemic. Additionally, he solidified an operational working relationship with the 49th Test and Evaluation Squadron, ensuring all current and future B-52 upgrades will be available to the 340th Weapons Squadron to allow for simultaneous operational test and tactics development before reaching the entire B-52 fleet. Furthermore, Lieutenant Colonel Keller tracked, maintained, and provided input on the placement of more than 60 weapons officers across the Air Force, providing crucial vectors to balance the constant demand for B-52 weapons instructor course graduates. Finally, Lieutenant Colonel Keller's leadership and dedication to the weapons school mission of building humble, approachable, and credible leaders resulted in the graduation of 21 B-52 weapons officers and garnered 23 quarterly and annual award winners at the weapons school level. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Keller reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Remarks from Lieutenant Colonel Keller, Commander, 340th Weapons Squadron.
All right, we'll start out with a lot of thank yous. Colonel Weiermuller, thanks for being here. Thanks for your friendship and your mentorship. Colonel Kirkpatrick, appreciate everything that the 307th does for us with all our aircraft production and maintenance. Folks are outstanding individuals. Colonel McDaniel, thank you for your mentorship advice in adopting our squadron into your group. You definitely don't have to do that, but Ansel and I really appreciate it. Chief Reppy, thank you for making the trip across the country to be here. Hawk in the back, welcome back to Global Strike. I know this is your favorite assignment, so welcome. Strut, where are you? You did a lot of work on this. Really appreciate all the work that you put into this, and some of that was during Wisdom, so you had a little bit extra to do. Grind, thanks for narrating today. Miss Janice, wherever you are, all the people from Public Affairs, and then all my friends and peers who I see out here, mainly on the right. Appreciate you all being here. And I would also be remiss if I didn't thank a few people who aren't here. My wing commander, General Drowley, Colonel Beamer, General Novotny, and General Levitt, who hired me 2 years ago. Next, I want to thank my family for joining me on this adventure that I signed them up for 18 years ago. You had no idea what you were getting into, and maybe I didn't either, I don't know. I've spent more time at the 340th than I have at any other squadron, like Colonel Arthod said. And it's not just because I was here too much as a student. 5 years at the 340th, maybe I'm crazy, I'm not sure. The last 2 years have been the culmination of a lot of hard work, some good timing, and the chance to command this outstanding squadron was a dream come true. Colonel Artha, thank you for your mentorship and thank you for letting me command this historic squadron. I appreciate everything you've done for me and for the Titans. Earning my patch was my greatest achievement, which is why this job has been so rewarding. To be able to watch others achieve their goals was an honor and a privilege, and it'll be tough to surpass. To my wife, Angela, thank you for everything you've done for the Titan family and for our family. I have a feeling there may be another change of command this evening at home, but I'm not sure. You've done a great job balancing everything you wanted to do with everything that our family needed you to do, and then a few things that I asked you to do too, so I appreciate everything you did. To my kids, Julianne and Nolan, I haven't been around as much as you probably wished, or maybe I have. I promise I will do my best to be home around the same time every day, for at least a few months, and you won't have to ask why I'm home or when I have to leave to go back to work. I can't promise I won't fall asleep during movies though. You both have a lot of talent. I look forward to watching you both grow and see what you're going to do next. When I tried to figure out what made this such a great command and a fun experience, I ultimately kept coming back to one thing. You, all the Titans. You all make this a squadron people want to be a part of. You all make this a squadron that continues to set the bar and achieve it. You are the reason people want to be weapons officers. None of that has any more to do with me than it does to any of you. I have truly enjoyed spending my time with all of you every day. I'm proud of everything that you have accomplished as a squadron and as individuals. You have my highest respect. It's been an honor to serve with all of you. LeMay, you're beyond ready for this command. 18 months as a DO, you know what to do. You and Brooke will do a great job, because you always do. It'll be fun and enjoyable while it lasts. I couldn't be happier to turn this squadron of high achievers over to you and Verde. You guys are going to do a great job. Good luck. Well done.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Keller. On behalf of the men and women of the 340th Weapons Squadron, we would like to thank Angela, Julianne, and Nolan for all of their sacrifice and support during Lieutenant Colonel Keller's tenure with the 340th Weapons Squadron, and present these gifts as a symbol of our gratitude. On behalf of the squadron, we'd also like to present a gift to Lieutenant Colonel Keller for crushing it as squadron commander.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction GX-001 by order of Colonel Jack Arthod, Commandant, U.S. Air Force Weapons School, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Keller relinquishes command and Lieutenant Colonel Timothy May assumes command of the 340th Weapons Squadron, U.S. Air Force Weapons School, effective 14 December 2020. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Timothy May, Commander of the 340th Weapons Squadron.
Good morning. I also have some thank yous to dole out, and I'm hoping that between Rex and I we cover everybody. Colonel Weimiller, Colonel Kirkpatrick, Colonel McDaniel, Chief Reppy, thank you for attending. Friends and colleagues watching online, I wish every one of you could be here with us this morning. Colonel Arthod, thank you for your confidence in me to lead this squadron and fulfilling our part of the weapons school mission. Rex, thank you for the call. Thank you for your leadership. The last 18 months of wisdom you imparted are truly invaluable. Angela, Nolan, and Julianne, thank you for helping our family feel right at home immediately. Mom, Dad, thank you for every opportunity you afforded Eric and I throughout our lives. I hope we've made you proud. Eric, thank you for always listening and assuring me I will always get the type of candid, humbling feedback that only a sibling can provide. To my family, I love you all. Penelope and Hattie, I am so proud of your eagerness to learn and your kindness to everyone you meet, including one another. I look forward to sitting in audiences like this, watching you both take on the world with great anticipation. Brooke, you have my undying gratitude for everything you do day in and day out. You keep our lives on track, you keep me balanced in so many ways, and you so diligently capture the events of our lives. Even when I can't be there, I never miss a moment. Titans, the future we face as a nation, as an Air Force, is daunting. The harsh reality is that we will no longer enjoy the dominant position in every engagement. Our would-be adversaries increasingly match or exceed our technical capabilities. In a contest between equally equipped combatants, the decision will fall to training. The quicker thinker, the decisive actor, the fighter with greater stamina will prevail. And just as the motto on our patch says, Paranti Tuk Simus, let us then be prepared. Tomorrow's conflict will occur in every conceivable medium. It will call on every resource that every service, department, and agency can muster. Battles will rage in the far-flung reaches of the globe, in our own communities, even in our own homes. It will require total effort and stalwart resolution. The next war will leave little time for mobilization and likely be decided in a matter of days or weeks, not months or years. Let us then be prepared. The challenges are many and the expectations are great, yet we have much to look forward to. Our B-52 is poised to receive a staggering number of upgrades within a sweeping modernization effort. Over the next decade, everything will change. Our community stands at the banks of the Rubicon. Titans, you are building the leaders who will see us safely across. You are the leaders blazing the trail on the other side. Every vol conceived, phase managed, and sortie flown prepares future ways and means. Every student in and out processed, every performance report and decoration submitted prepares the way for future warfighters. Every crew stepped, purchase made, threat briefed, and clearance verified prepares the way. This is total effort. Every day, every action of our squadron prepares for future combat. Titans, there is no substitute for the training you provide because there is no substitute for bold leadership. I stand before you all with the utmost humility. Command of this squadron is the greatest honor the Air Force could bestow upon me. In my time serving as DO, you taught me the true potential of professionals unleashed upon any problem, and you are truly awe-inspiring. So let us then proceed. Let us proceed to contact with the unknown. Let us proceed to the hard work. Let us proceed to our place among the shapers of future combat. Titans, enjoy your well-earned time off and be ready when we commence 21 Alpha. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel May. On behalf of the men and women of the 340th Weapons Squadron, we would like to welcome Brooke, Hattie, and Penelope to the 340th Weapons Squadron family and present these gifts. The Weapons School looks forward to working with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us immediately following the ceremony on the flight line for the unveiling of Lieutenant Colonel May's 340th flagship. Feel free to take photos of the aircraft. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, we will not host a reception. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal portion of today's ceremony, and on behalf of the 340th Weapons Squadron, thank you for attending. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party, family, and distinguished guests. Thank you, and have a great day.
Into the sun. Here it comes into me. I don't know. Here it comes. Here it goes. And it dies. Off the